All right, so we tried some commands and we started exploring the terminal, but we will have more time later on to do that. So I'm going to introduce you right now to some of the commands that are useful and that will allow you to create the directories and create a whole file structure and to navigate through this file structure, like to move from one directory to another, to specify paths, etc. We're gonna see different commands that will allow you to create directories, remove directories, change from one directory to another, and display the whole content of a given directory. We're gonna start by the pwd command that you previously tried in your terminal. So the pwd stands for print working directory, and it does display the absolute path of your current location in your file system. So again, we said when you first log in to your system, you are by default located in your home directory. So if you did not move from one directory to another yet, when you type pwd, you should get the absolute path of your home directory, which is your current working directory when you first log in. So you should see something similar to home and then your username, as we tried previously with the terminal. You can try to do that again to check. So another very useful command is the command ls that allows you to list the content of the current working directory by default. So if you type the command ls without any option, without specifying any path, it's going to give you the content of your current working directory. There are a lot of useful options that you can use with the command ls that lists the content of your directory, which are the -l that allows you to display the sizes of the different files, the date and time that file was modified, and then it does also allow you to display the name and the owner of a given file along with the different file permissions. The A option allow you to list all the files, including the hidden one, and the hidden one will be marked by a dot in the very beginning. You can also combine different kind of options. Here, for example, we are combining the L and H, and adding the H will allow you to show the sizes in an easier readable format. We're gonna see some examples later. If you add, for example, the R command, it's going recursively to list all the sub directories. If you have, for example, different subdirectories in a given directory, and under those subdirectories you also have other subdirectories, going to list them recursively. You can also sort by sizes the different files you are displaying by adding the capital S options, and all the options are preceded by a dash. With any command, we're gonna see the command line general structure in a few minutes. So let's go back to the terminal and try some typing. So again, I'll try the pwd, and it's giving me the absolute path of my home directory because I did not move yet from my home directory. So if I type the command ls, it's going to display all the files that I do have in my home directory. So here are the list of all the subdirectories that are contained in my home directory. So let's try, for instance, ls with the option -l. And as you see here, it's given me more details about my files. So the last time and date during which the file was modified. It's given me the size of the different files. It's given me the owner of the file. It's given me the group to which belong the owner of the file. And it's also given me the different access rights that are associated to a given file. So ls is definitely one of the most useful commands that allow you to display at a given moment the content of a given directory, and we will have the chance to play with it more later on. There is another very useful and important command, which is the mkdir command that allows you to create a directory. It stands for makes a directory. The command structure is mkdir and then the directory name. Or you can also specify a path instead of specifying the directory name. So if you simply type mkdir directory name, the directory is going to be created within your current working directory with the new specified name. If you want to create a directory elsewhere, you have to specify the path, which means instead of typing mkdir, the name of your new folder, you will type mkdir and then the path of your new folder. So the basic structure of any command in Linux is the name of the command followed by options and then a list of arguments. As we saw, some commands can be used without any option and without any argument, like the pwd, for example. We used it without any argument, without any option. We tried the ls without and with some options, and you can also combine the use of options and then arguments. Here I'm giving you an example of an ls command followed by the l and h options, and then followed by an argument which is the absolute path of the folder IBT 2016. So instead of typing ls followed by this option simply, that will give you the content of your current working directory. Here I'm suggesting to specify the path of a directory of which I would like to list the content. You can also use a command without options, but by specifying just arguments. Here, for example, the mkdir, I'm not using any option, but I'm specifying the name of a folder that I would like to create, which is the argument in this case. So there are a lot of things that you have to know about files in Linux and how names are defined. First, there is no distinction between the names of ordinary files and directory files, which means that I can call a directory X and then I can call a text file X or an image file X. There is no real distinction between the name of files and directories. You cannot have in the same directory two files that have exactly the same name or two subdirectories that have exactly the same name. This is not possible. The other thing is that Linux is very case sensitive. For instance, if you write Sanger with capital S, it's different from Sanger with small s, And if you write Sanger whole capital is different from Sanger with just capital S, so be very careful with that. Like these three names do represent three different files. In the majority of the cases, the file extensions are not necessary, they are optional. Like the majority of the text files are not followed by .txt like in Windows. The majority don't have file extensions. Another very useful command is the command cd that allow you to change from your current working directory. So the structure of the command cd is cd followed by path, the path of the folder to which you would like to move. And you can either specify absolute path or relative path to where you are. Remember, the absolute path is the path to your directory, starting from the root and then going layer by layer down on your structure until reaching your directory or file. And the relative path is always relative to where you are. It's relative to your current working directory. So here are some examples. Let's consider the file structure we saw previously, and imagine we are located in Linux right now. So after logging into the system, we move it to the directory Linux. If we would like to move to the Watson directory, we can either specify the absolute path or specify the relative path, right? So the absolute path to Watson will be /home and then Watson. You can simply type the command cd /home /Watson, or you can use the relative path. So remember, we said we are located in the Linux directory right now. So the relative path will be dot and then dot. Remember, the dot sign takes you to the parent directory, and then another dot will take you to the other parent directory of IBT 2017. So cd dot dot will first take us to IBT 2017 and then to Watson 2017. You can do it in a one step, like specifying the relative path directly to Watson from Linux, which is 2 layers up of Linux, or you can do it in 2 different steps, like type cd dot move to IBT 2017, and then another cd dot will allow you to move another layer up to Watson. If we would like to move to genomics directory, for example, we can use the absolute path to genomics starting from the root, or we can use the relative path. Again, it's gonna be relative to Linux where we are located. So we can do it in 2 different steps. So the relative path to genomics starting from Linux is 1 layer up, which is IBT 2017, and then genomics. So the dot refers to the upper layer, which is IBT 2017, and then genomics is located immediately under IBT 2017, so it's /genomics. We can also do it in 2 different steps as the previous example. So we can do cd dot that will take us to IBT 2017, and then from IBT 2017 we can directly access genomics.